Couple of details, new details. I just posted a video called The Evil or the 16 Evil Supremacy Dimensions. I just posted a video called The 16 Evil Supremacy Dimensions. I mentioned, like I said, it's the first time I've introduced this concept. I kind of sort of just came up with it fresh. It's not necessarily fresh, but it's always been like on the tip of my mind to say out loud. But it's called the 16 Evil Supremacy Dimensions. And they are essentially the antithesis of the 16 soul supremacy dimensions. Or just words. You don't have to say dimensions. But here, details though. In the previous video, this is how I had the 16 words which make up the dimensions of this here parable. This is how I had them lined up. I had them lined up in the first four being war, disrespect, also chaos and murder. War, disrespect, chaos, and murder. Those are the first four. Then the second set of four, once again, war again. But then also hatred, war, hatred, division, and stagnates. War, hatred, division, and stagnates. Now, see, here's the thing. The final four, or the third set of four, I had it set up at first as wrath, greed, gluttony, lust. And then the final four, I had it set up as, the first one was pride, sloth, jealousy, and fear. Pride, sloth, jealousy, and fear. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, or just the bottom 8. And then I'm going to quickly explain something about the N.S.E.B, in which I'm going to use to apply the, in which I'm going to use to make the 16 evil supremacy dimensions make more sense in regards to why I'm just saying them out loud. So, now here's the new order of it. This is going to be sloth first, or the bottom 8. It's going to be sloth, then pride, then jealousy, then fear. Sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. That's going to be the setup for the 16 evil supremacy dimensions. 16 evil to supremacy dimensions. It's going to be the setup for it. The final four, once again, sloth, jealousy, sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. And then the bottom four are just going to remain wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust. So let's say them in order. You got war, disrespect, chaos, and murder. War, disrespect, chaos, and murder. Then you have war, hatred, division, and stagnates. War, hatred, division, and stagnates. Then you have sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. Sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. And then finally you have wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust. More details real quick before I talk about the N.S.E.B again. So that 4 sets of 4, what I just labeled and described, is what you will get if you respect the oppressive nature. If you respect the oppressive nature, respect defines a deep feeling of admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and achievements. Abilities, qualities, and achievements. The word elicit means to evoke or draw out a response, answer, or fact from someone in reaction to one's own actions or questions. In other words, meaning what something either puts in you to draw out of you, or what is already in you pushing things out of you. It's still, either way it goes, whether it's already in you pushing it out of you, or whether it's external of you trying to fish it in and draw it out of you. Either way it goes, it is trying to elicit its own abilities, qualities, and achievements to and throughout you all. So, respect God's side, not the devil's. Check it, right? Abilities, qualities, and achievements. So, the abilities, what do they represent for this oppressive nature? The abilities represent the artificial abilities, of course, or the artificial skills in which the enemy endows into your mind, your conscious mind, or your transpersonal state. Your transpersonal state is endowed by the enemy. When you respect the oppressive nature, your transcendent state will be endowed with war, also disrespect, chaos, and murder. It's brand new, so memorizing it is slightly tough, but I'm gonna get it though. I guarantee you that, because I know what it's gonna do when it actually gets out here and people start to listen to it. So, conscious mind, respecting the enemy, gives you the conscious mind of war, disrespect, chaos, and murder. Respecting the enemy, or respecting the oppressive nature, your subconscious mind's qualities. Standard of something is measured against other things of a similar kind. Standard meaning a level of quality or attainment. A level of quality or a level of attainment. So that means the enemy's level of attainment. The enemy's level of attainment will drive out of you war, hatred, division, and stagnance. Thirdly, the enemy's achievements. This is also why I wanted to set it up for the achievements. The achievements, the enemy's achievements are sloth, vanity, which is false pride, jealousy, and fear. Those are the enemy's achievements. I'm just switching it up mildly. Switching it up mildly so it'll make more sense. And then you finally have what manifests unto the grounds, unto our environment, if you respect the oppressive nature's abilities, qualities, and achievements. What manifests unto the grounds, environment, instead of like last video I said sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. Like I said, that's what manifests on the grounds. I'm going to say that wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust manifest unto the environment. I just wanted to switch it up so that it can make more finite sense and instructions to, or give you more insight or heads up as to how this oppressive force of people work. The more you learn, the more you rise. And right now, currently, the only thing in reality we honestly have to rise against are those people, them folk, as what you call them. Those are the only things in reality in which we must fight back against right now, because they are the only things in reality pushing the oppressive nature into reality, manifesting unto our environment war, hatred, division, and stagnance through their achievements of sloth, jealousy, pride, and fear. Sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. You follow what I'm saying? Now, the N.S.E.B. I just want to talk about this for a moment. The N.S.E.B. The N.S.E.B., what does it consist of? First of all, what does the N.S.E.B. stand for? The Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint. Real quick, to every melanated man, woman, and child alive, these words are going to hyper-empower you, hyper-power you up, make you super aware of everything and extraordinarily aware of everything, and just as extraordinary as you already are. All of my good words go to the melanated people because I am depicting the melanated people into something else, just like the enemy depicted you into something else. So I'm going to depict you in the family because the enemy depicted you into foes. Family versus foes. I'm going to depict every so-called black person on this planet into family, whether they want to be my family or not. Just want to get my entire self out of hell. That's why I'm saying certain words out loud. Moving forward here. Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint, right? The Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint. What does it consist of? The N.S.E.B. is similar to what I labeled and described as my Super Yahusha 4-7 game, or you can say Super Soul 4-7 game. You follow what I'm saying? It's similar to it. The only difference is it's like the base of the game. It's like the base of it. Super Yahusha 4-7 is like a advanced version of the N.S.E.B., whereas Cosmic Yahusha 6-9 is an advanced version of Super Yahusha. And then you got Free Soul or Free Yahusha 8-4, which is a more advanced version of the Soul Game Saga, which is Cosmic Yahusha 6-9. And then finally, where I am honestly trying to get to as soon as possible, you got Established Yahusha Infinity, the Home Saga. That is where I am trying to get to with every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet immediately. Home. But we have to go through home liberation. Free Yahusha 8-4 Free Yahusha 8-4 is a home liberation saga. Established Yahusha Infinity is a home saga. Right now, currently, we're still in the Soul Game Saga because I need to give overwhelming amounts of information regarding who and or what and or how and or where and or why your original belief system is the way it is. You follow what I'm saying? So, check it, right? Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint. The Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint details, just like the Super Jesus 4-7 game. The only difference is it doesn't have a 2 outside of each of the 4-7s on all 3 of its planes. The Super Yahusha 4-7 game, Christ Game Saga, extends to 4 specific realms to target, whereas the Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint only hits 3, which is just the psyche alone. You follow me? But the titles and all of that are still the same except for the 1 on the physical plane, and it's called the 4 Exodus Keywords. 4 Exodus Keywords. Keep that in mind if you would. So check it. The conscious mind's details consist of the 4 corner mental spirit prison, the 4 corner mental faculty spirit prison. Remember, your spirit at its base is the ether and or the 5 senses of your physical body is what your spirit is. Spirit, the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, the soul. The non-physical part is what you would label and describe as the electromagnetic force. The electromagnetic force is the non-physical part. Moving forward though, so here, targeting your spiritual conscience or your spiritual Christ conscience or your spiritual senses, your highest plane, where your spirit resides the most, to be the seat of the soul. You follow what I'm saying? The spirit is the seat of the soul, because the soul is your natural divine characters and your natural divine behavior, your natural ability, your natural qualities, your natural achievements. You don't necessarily have to accept this. I just need to keep saying that to overwhelmingly remind the melanated people only just exactly how much free will you have. I can only share this word. This word can only honestly affect the melanated people. It can't really do too much to the opposite gene class. Reason why is because their genetic seal prevents it from being able to. The only thing that can reside within the so-called white folks' mind is what the devil put in there. Whatever we put in there, it's just going to piss them off and make them jealous because it was us that did it. Everything we do, they get jealous of because they are jealous of everything. Why do you think they destroy all of nature? They are jealous of all of nature, so they feel like nature shouldn't be the way it is. What do they do this for? No reason. They just want to do it. If you want to look at specifics, or if you want to give some type of idea or have some type of base or running ground as to why they're doing it, they're evil. And for all of you out there who think my magnificent sisters, the so-called black women, who are in reality also low-class Orisha angels, you want to sit there and call them evil, when in reality they just had an overwhelmingly amount of barbaric programming put into their essentially more flesh than spirit soul control bodies. You want to sit there and call them evil because the devil, through the white people, is taking advantage of their physical features. Women are more flesh than they are spirit soul, unfortunately. Same level of access to the spirit soul, but they still have more flesh than spirit soul. They got the same amount of access because the soul is omnipresent, though, once again, but they still, unfortunately, have more flesh than they have spirit soul. Same access, though. Moving forward, because it's the same power at the end of the day. So here, the top 4-7, the 4-corner mental spirit prison, and the 7 belief system pillars to be dismantled by any moral means necessary. Details of them: the 4-corner mental spirit prison consists of left corner vanity, top corner jealousy, bottom corner sloth, and then to the far right corner what manifests unto the environment: wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust. This is another reason why I switched it up, because I wanted to connect it properly with my game so it can make more sense as to what I'm getting ready to say next. Then the 7 belief system pillars to be dismantled, in which those foul negative principalities, those 7 foul negative principalities, or those negative deadly sins, give power to these belief systems in many multiple ways. All 7 negative sin principalities show and or reveal within all 7 of these here belief system pillars that I'm about to get ready to mention. However, there is one specific sin in which shows the most within each of these here belief system pillars that I'm about to list off to you. They are as follows: racism being the first one, or race hatred. I don't necessarily like to call it racism because that's not necessarily what it is. You're just making up terms and just shoving them in our faces so you can have something to distract us with and talk about, so you can keep on ruining our lives. Remember, these people only exist to ruin our lives. They don't exist to benefit them. They literally cannot respect us. They can only disrespect us. That is a part of their conscience qualities, or that is a part of their conscious planes ideologies, to disrespect what is black. The fact that they even call us black should be blasphemy to you, or you should be able to see the problem in it. Moving forward. So much to talk about. Here, the 7 belief system pillars to be dismantled by any moral means necessary. Racism being the first one. And greed shows the most in racism, although all 7 of the foul principality sins show within racism, especially wrath and jealousy. Wrath and jealousy show a lot in racism, but to top it all off, or to look at the most visible sin in racism, is greed. It's greed. The most visible sin in racism is greed, from my perspective. They all show, like I said, though. Feminism is jealousy. Feminism is the second one. The third one is the foul sexual orientation. They pretend to show pride. They use pride because they know Because like I said, we know where the idea of foul sexual orientation comes from. So they use pride to pervert it in a sense. You follow what I'm saying? Because remember, all throughout the scriptures in the text, it says pride comes before the fall. Fall of what? And pride for what? What does the word pride mean? You follow what I'm saying? So that means, and since pride is essentially satisfaction for a certain achievement, pride is simply satisfaction for a certain standard, then the standard in which the foul sexual orientation practitioners are pushing into this world are of a foul standard. They got it from the devil. It's because they got the idea from the devil. This is why they have to march and advocate and force you all to respect what they want you to respect. Foul sexual orientation is evil, and it always has been and always will be. Moving forward, pride is shown the most in that one because they know a thing or two about what pride actually is. Because let's not forget, it came from the devil. And whatever comes from the devil knows everything about what it is trying to destroy. And since the devil is only trying to destroy all of nature, and melanated people just so happen to be all of nature and or the constituents of all of nature, well then, we are being attacked the most by these people and their hatred. Brother Ibrahim Traore, you're a genius. Random thought, just wanted to say that. Then also too, speaking of which, these people, the genetically modified individuals, they only want to invade our spaces so they can exploit you, melanated people who are resources. Extort you, melanated people who are resources. We are the resource. People are a resource. And we are that. More details. Fourth belief system pillar, the nerd geek culture, the nerd geek foundation. My foundation. Nerd, translation, neglected earthrealm dreamers and or geeked, gentlemen evading everyday knowledge and or gamers and evading everyday knowledge. This belief system pillar categorizes the rich, middle class, and all of ye who have been poverty stricken due to colonization worldwide. I see you as my eye, Father God, bodies, feet, and legs. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward. Next, you got the fifth one. The sloth is what shows the most in the nerd belief system, nerd geek culture. Sloth is what shows the most on the foundation, unfortunately. Another reason why I had it at the bottom in the Four Corner Spirit Prison. Next, you have gangsters. Essentially, don't like to play favoritism. I really don't, but it's just y'all don't get it, yo. When this works, what they are going to be for us is going to be astounding in every way possible. The gangsters, though, unfortunately, in their belief system, one of my most utilizable weapons, because especially it's from my Ogun-like throat chakra. Wrath. Wrath is what the gangsters show a lot, unfortunately. And then that wrath is being misdirected. If only it could be redirected towards the right target. If only, man. Y'all don't get it. They cannot do anything really truly to stop this conviction, because if they do anything to stop this conviction, they will have to break all of their laws and codes of the world to stop this conviction from planting. They'd have to break all of their laws and codes. And then that's going to leave everybody to question, well, why did you even have them in the first place? If you can just break them at any time you feel like it, just to play around some more. What's the point of having any of your worthless, useless, disgusting, senile laws and codes if you're just going to break them all to play around some more? Unto you so-called things in which label and describe yourselves as white people. Why have your laws if all you're going to do is ruin them to ruin our lives a bit more effectively? Oh, I know why now. Because you have your laws in the first place to ruin our lives more effectively. Think about it. If you didn't have any of your laws, would you have any rights to destroy our lives as you're doing currently? To gun us down when we are doing nothing to deserve the action. If the gangsters get this, the melanated gangsters, if they get this, we'll have something we can use, like you got right now, to fight back. You follow what I'm saying? Here, more details though. Next are the tribes. The most visible sin in the tribes at the current moment. This is probably because there's so many women over there. Like, it's fully melanated women, yo. Just, oh my God. I want to go home, man. Just want to go home. Here, I'm depicting lust. Then again, I don't necessarily like to say anything bad about any melanated man, woman, or child alive, honestly. But the melanated people need to hear their current positioning. They just have to hear it. And maybe, you know, maybe lust is because I just have so much love for the women of this so-called continent of Africa and every melanated woman alive. I just love you. I only seek to love and respect a woman unconditionally. I just seek to love and respect one woman unconditionally. It's the main thing I seek in my life. You know, reality, spirit. Spirit is what you will label and describe as divine feminine energy. And soul is what you will label and describe as divine masculine energy. I'm the soul, or I am a soul, looking for a good spirit, whom and which I, personally, can respect and love unconditionally. So are you saying you're looking to love and respect all of reality unconditionally? Bingo. That's the only thing I wish to do, is love and respect everything in reality unconditionally. However, that's difficult. Reason why is because there are things in charge of this world that only wish for me to disrespect and hate everything in reality. Why? So they can have a reason to say all black people are bad and evil. And then they got all these systems set up to put me in some kind of box for the problems they've put in and draw out. Real problem, fake solution. Real problem, fake solution. All day long, every day. More details. Here. Tribes. 5,000 of you in the world. Because of how much I probably love you, I say the most visible sin in your ranks or in your belief system category is lust. And then you got, finally, the religions. Like I said, this is the N.S.E.B. So that means it ain't no two outside. It's just the X, just the 4 and the 7, bringing awareness of them. Remember, this is like, this entire N.S.E.B. parable is essentially like a key to open the gate, in which is giving the principalities their abilities to hide from us. You follow what I'm saying? Moving forward now. Here comes the second part, the 4-7 of the second part, the subconscious mind's 4-7. What does it consist of? The 4 styles of spiritual communication and the 7 dimensions of thought power. This part of the N.S.E.B. is the awareness of your original, actual belief system, the one belief system in which all of we started out with. This one right here. Once we regain a reminder of this belief system right here personally, all of the other belief systems built on top of them will fall. The 4 styles of spiritual communication and the 7 dimensions of thought power. Remember, those 7 dimensions of thought power are simply the chakras, and chakra in Indian thought is each of the centers of spiritual power in the one human body, usually considered to be 7 in number, but it's infinite. And then there are also 2 more outside that I don't need to talk about right now because it's a different parable I'm using, the N.S.E.B. You follow what I'm saying? So, biggest thing you want to grasp though is all of the chakras, even the infinite chakras and all of the constituents of the chakras, are all the makeup of one thing, the soul itself. As I said, this part of the parable, this part of the N.S.E.B. parable, the 4 styles of spiritual communication and the 7 dimensions of thought power, label and describe your one original belief system almost to the T. Almost to the T. Reason why I say almost to the T It's because I don't necessarily like so many things to label and describe what something is. Just keep it simple, simpler. Simplicity is good. Chaos is evil. Complications are evil. Keep everything simple. 4 styles of spiritual communication. What are they? Spiritual awareness, spiritual avoidance, spiritual expression, and spiritual depression. You don't want to participate in spiritual depression nor spiritual avoidance. Spiritual avoidance is deprivation of your spiritual necessities. And spiritual depression is to inflict vanity, vexation, and harm and or depression unto your neighbor's psyche. You follow what I'm saying? Matthew 22:39. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. How can you possibly love yourself if you don't even know? How can you possibly love your neighbor if you don't even know how to love yourself? How could you possibly love yourself if you don't even know who you are to love in the first place? So many things you need, right? Moving forward. Spiritual depression prevents you from knowing who you are because you are deprived of your knowledge of you. And spiritual depression prevents you from seeing who you are because of the constant vanity and vexation in which it afflicts. You follow what I'm saying? But spiritual awareness is literally flipping the ignorance of spirituality or flipping the ignorance of who you are to awareness. That's why I keep saying spiritual awareness is such an important thing. Spiritual awareness is critical because it's like the immediate step right there back to your original belief system. It's like the immediate step back to your belief system. Spiritual awareness is. And then spiritual expression is the concept of you expressing this here powerful version of your original self, my dear melanated family. You follow what I'm saying? So, those are the 4 styles of spiritual communication and the 7 dimensions of thought power. Now, here's the kicker part right here. The final 4-7 for the somatic body. Using the N.S.E.B, the negative spirit exodus blueprint alone. You got the 4 exodus keywords and the 7 gates and characteristical spirits. The 4 exodus keywords, exodus keys, those keys are going to unlock these here 7 gates, the 7 gates of heaven. And once these here keys unlock the 7 gates of heaven, I will have the ability to cast the rest of my games and soulful techniques into the spirit to flush out the foul principalities plaguing thy mind, heart space, which is within that 4-corner spirit prison. You follow what I'm saying? My 4 exodus keywords are going to be what unlock the 7 gates of heaven, which is essentially the foul, not necessarily the foul principalities, but they form the gatekeepers in a sense. It's going to unlock the gate of the 4-corner mental spirit prison, in other words. It's going to unlock the gate. How is it going to do so? Think about it. Morals, principles, standards, character. Morals are the measurement of emotion. Morals are the measurement of emotion. As soon as you gain full awareness of what your actual emotion is, whatever is plaguing it will be destroyed. The 4-corner mental spirit prison, destroyed. The 7 belief system pillars in which need to be dismantled by any moral means necessary, dismantled and destroyed. And now what was giving those things their strengths will flush out into the open here with us so we can cut it into 1,000 pieces. The 4 exodus keywords are going to essentially crack the gates open, which is your ignorance to where you are currently, in a sense. So many ways you can label and describe this here opening of the gates. And then the Super Yahusha 4-7 game, the advancement of the N.S.E.B, and then the Cosmic Yahusha 6-9 game, the advancement of the Super Yahusha 47 game, and all of the other games and strategies and sagas that I'm going to be using to label and describe things will flood into thine spiritual conscience or into thine spiritual psyche or thy soul spiritual psyche. You follow what I'm saying? And it's going to cast into it like a flood, destroy the prison, destroy the belief systems, flush out all of those foul principalities, and just leave the second part of the game or the second part of the N.S.E.B there to be what it is, the entirety of your psyche. You follow what I'm saying? Then those foul principalities will be out here with us. And once again, continuing the 7 gates and characteristic spirits. The 7 gates due to the 4 Exodus keywords. Unlocking it. Morals, principles, standards, character. Moral, principles, standards, character. Awareness of your original standards. Morals are the measurement of emotion. Principles, a fundamental truth or proposition in which serves as the foundation of a system of belief, behavior, and for a chain of reasoning. The soul is the truth. The spirit is what's true. And reality is the soul spirit's flesh. And or what the soul spirit is in. You follow what I'm saying? Fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation of a system of belief, behavior, or for a chain of reasoning. That's what the principle is. That's what a principle is. And once you have original awareness of your original principles, that's another massive key in which will crack the gates, stopping you from getting into that prison to flood those principalities out. That's how I'm going to say it. That's how I'm going to say it. Stopping you from flooding those principalities out. And once those principalities have been flooded out into the open, they will become a part of the bottom 8 of the 16 evil supremacy words, or 16 evil supremacy dimensions. You follow what I'm saying? That's pretty much all I wanted to tell you for the major detail right there. The switch up. The 4 Exodus keywords. This is how I'm going to say it now. Instead of like just saying any kind of random gates like they're chakra gates or something, because they are the chakra gates essentially. Essentially the chakra gates, but in reality, the 4 Exodus keywords are going to crack open that 4 mental spirit prison, that 4-corner mental spirit prison. That's what they're going to crack open. They're going to crack open that 4-corner mental spirit prison, and then they're going to allow the flood to rain in on all those foul principalities. Like I'm going straight for the foundation, straight for the feet, and it's going to cause those 7 belief system pillars to shatter and disintegrate. And then those foul negative principalities in which we're giving it strength to hold up, they will be washed out along with the flood and all of the destruction and the debris coming along with it. Be out here with us. And now the only thing we'll have to face, essentially, along with the other words and techniques that I have to use, will be the 16 soul supremacy words, or the 16 soul supremacy dimensions versus the 16 evil supremacy dimensions. And once again, I'm going to close the video out after I say it one more time. The 16 evil supremacy dimensions. Top 4 for the conscious mind, or targeting the conscious mind. War, disrespect, chaos, and murder. And then the abilities or the qualities that are targeting our conscious mind or subconscious minds are of war, hatred, division, and stagnance. The achievements, which are targeting our physical body, they are of sloth, pride, jealousy, and fear. And then finally, what it manifests with those 3 things in one form manifests unto our environment: wrath, greed, gluttony, and lust. This is what it'll be like once the N.S.E.B cracks open that spirit prison and allows the other 4 games to flood in and tear it all apart. And then what we will be using, the 16 soul supremacy dimensions, targeting our conscious mind, will be peace, respect, balance, and progression. Targeting our qualities and or what is of our natural qualities. Our natural qualities are peace, love, unity, and advancement. Our physical, somatic, natural achievements are of calmness, serenity, love, and righteousness. And what it manifests unto our environment, those 3 things in one form, what they manifest is with all things good, beautiful, normal, and natural, concomitantly. Shalom, shalom, shalom. My prayer is specifically designed to see every melanated man, woman, and child, and every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet only thrive, win, succeed, be the best version of yourself, and stop letting the oppressive nature and what it is driving to tell you to be the opposite of you. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.